Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show, heard live on 107.5 FM in Shelby County and on the WTIM app for iPhone or Android. Your guest this morning, Kirby Kastner. She's the new Economic Development Director for the city of Pana. Great to have you here, Kirby.
Thanks for having me.
It's excellent to have you on, and tell everyone a little about yourself other than just being the Economic Development Coordinator or Director rather for the city of Pana. What else are you? What else do you like to do?
Oh, what do I like to do? Well, I'm a mom of two girls, so that keeps me busy. I pretty much have to like what they do. So, but I enjoy coaching junior high girls basketball and just, hanging out with my dog and, just things like that.
Right. You have so you have two daughters?
Yes.
Wow. It must be a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
So how did you start your journey to becoming a economic development director?
It was kind of a chance encounter. So I recently went to graduate school at SIUE for social work, kind of thinking I was going to go along the lines of clinical counseling whenever I was done. But I wanted to do my internship with a nonprofit agency in Pana called Pana Pride, and just kind of do some policy work and grant writing opportunity work for them. And it eventually just manifested itself into this current position. This position's been vacant for the city of Pana for almost 8 years now. So yeah, we needed to pick it back up.
Yeah, no kidding. With that, how do you foresee the first few months of your tenure going?
It's been a lot of trying to figure out things on my own. I have good guidance through other people through the city. We have a newly elected mayor who's been in full support of this position and just different projects that I run across him. But it's a lot of picking up the pieces of a position that's been neglected for so long. So trying to just figure out what that role looks like and how I can, fit it into what needs to be accomplished for the betterment of the city.
What do you think is on the top of that list that needs to be accomplished?
Well, I can just tell you from my standpoint, like what my, top priorities are right now. Number one, we have to create a comprehensive strategic plan for the city. It helps in the grant writing process. It helps to have everybody on the same page as to what those goals are that we're trying to accomplish. And then just looking into downtown revitalization, infrastructure improvements, just various projects like that. And those three ideas have kind of been the guiding force behind what I'm trying to kind of cherry pick at this point to put as top priority.
What goes into creating a comprehensive plan? I'm sure it's a lot.
It is. So I have taken some examples from neighboring communities. There are some great ones out there. They were a little bit more thorough than what I expected them to be. So what we're going to do is create some subcommittees to kind of develop goals and, where we're going to go from here, what's most important and what's needed and kind of what the community is wanting to feel more comfortable and, content with their community. We also have to do some kind of history work, pulling statistics as to, from like the United States Census website, and just kind of pick up on those trends to see where we need to go from here.
So I heard there that the community is going to need to be pretty involved in that process too. What needs to happen is going to happen. How can the community become more involved with that?
So recently, we actually just wrapped it up last week. We did a follow-up session of the mapping program through Illinois Western University, and that helps. It's hosted for Pana Pride, but what it does is it invites community members in to kind of put their voice in as to where we want to see the future of Pana go. So getting that kind of feedback from the community. Plus also we're putting together a community needs assessment. So we're going to put a poll out on Facebook about what do you need here? What do you want here? And how can we accomplish this together?
Again, that's on Facebook, right?
We're in the development stages of it right now, but
City of Pana Facebook or?
We'll probably put it on Pana Pride's Facebook page just because we ran that mapping program through them. And I feel that the community really follows that Facebook page too. So.
Right. Got it. So you mentioned downtown revitalization. What is that? Where are you in the stages of that? I'm sure pretty early stage or?
Yes, for sure. So currently we have a pretty big undertaking going on. We are actually having an entire city block demolished downtown for our new Jack Flash Travel Center that's coming in. It was about 50-50 on resalvageable buildings down there. A lot of them were left vacant for so long and were just beyond repair. So that created a little bit of a rift in the community, I'm afraid. Some people were really upset about some of our traditional buildings being torn down. So we want to try and revitalize and restore what we have left after this project.
Sometimes to move forward, you have to move backwards, and that's part of it. Now, any plans, perhaps, I know sometimes with historic towns such as Pana, when you take down a building like that, maybe you try to rebuild a building that at least kind of embodies the spirit or the look of the old kind of feel. And any plans to do that with some of the buildings that you took down?
Absolutely. So there are some pretty neat landmark features on some of these buildings that are going to be demolished. It's actually actively happening right now. But luckily, the developer of the Jack Flash that's coming in really wants to embrace that culture of the culture and history of the city. And they're going to incorporate some of these features into their new development. So with a mix of that new development and, hopefully revitalizing what buildings we will have left, which there are several, I think we can really create a healthy and attractive balance in the downtown.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of projects that go into that one big project, which is revitalization. You mentioned demolishing some buildings, creating some new ones. What else do you have in the front of your windshield, right, as you drive forward towards that?
So I actually learned in the mapping program that a lot of communities don't have an actual designated downtown area, and that we should feel blessed that we do. So I really want to try and make that as an attractive piece of the city as we can. My mom talks about whenever me and my older brother were little, she could park uptown, get out, and just walk and shop. We don't currently have that ability. There's not enough down there to entice anybody to want to do that. That's my goal with moving forward with the downtown, because I want to share that same thing with my children too. So
right, there's the downtown area, but in downtown there's just not the shops and restaurants that your mom used to have. Right. And so a lot of work needs to be done to create that, and you're part of the process with that. Got to go to a break here real quick. Anything that you want to touch on before we come back and talk a little bit more about some of the goals for you?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on the WTIM Morning Show. You're talking here with Kirby Kastner, and she's recently hired as the Economic Development Director for the City of Pana. More from Kirby after this break here on the WTIM Morning Show, heard live on 107.5 FM in Shelby County.
Buy yourself a holiday pie for that Thanksgiving gathering during the second annual Taylorville Kiwanis Club Pie Auction, Thursday, November 18th on Genuine Country 94.3 WMKR. We'll have a day's worth of auctioning pies local bakeries and Kiwanis members bring in during the day. You'll have 30 minutes to be the high bidder on each pie, with all proceeds going towards local Kiwanis projects for children and youth. It's Thursday, November 18th, the second annual Kiwanis Pie Auction on Genuine Country 94.3 WMKR.
Benson Hill is on a mission to transform the food system from the ground up, and we want to partner with you to get there. Join our new Plant for Protein program and grow in-demand soybean varieties that meet the needs of today's consumer. Limited acres available in your area for 2022, so don't wait. Visit BensonHillFarmers.com or call us at 314-594-7624 to lock in your premium contract today. That's BensonHillFarmers.com.
I'm Will Perkins, President and CEO of the Taylorville Community Credit Union. TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight, allowing a different nonprofit organization to be highlighted on WTIM, WMKR, and WRAN each month.
Hi, I'm Vonna Stahl from the Christian County Genealogy Society. We work year-round to preserve the history of the people of this county. As with most nonprofit organizations, our normal programs have been put on hold recently. We hope we can soon continue our family history program and our cemetery walk. Our library is open at the Pence Building at the Christian County Historical Society Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Please come visit us and let us help you with your family history. If you want to have hope for the future, you need to stand on the shoulders of the past.
This is Cammie Payne, General Manager of the Miller Media Group. We, along with TCCU, are proud to bring you the Community Spotlight each month.
TCCU is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group Community Spotlight. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
Hello, Panther fans. This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans in Taylorville, Shelbyville, Effingham, and Eastern Illinois to listen for Panther football on your information station, WTIM, on its many platforms on AM, FM, and online. Hear the Panthers as they compete in the Ohio Valley Conference. Follow the Panthers this season on your information station, WTIM, on AM, FM, and online.
Hi, this is Whitney McAllister, the manager from the Slot Yard in Taylorville, a J&J Gaming sponsored parlor. See our latest winners and find out our drink specials by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Blaine Cornwell with Prairie State Insurance. To learn more about our products and services, click our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper, host of the WTIM Morning Show, heard live on 107.9 FM in the Pana Nokomis area. Your guest this morning, Kirby Kastner, recently hired as the Economic Development Director for the city of Pana. Before we went to break, Kirby, we were talking a bit about how there used to be such a vibrant downtown area. You still have a great downtown area of Pana, but it's just not the business activity that there once was. What is the economic development subset of Pana doing to create that or to incentivize people to come back and start a business in Pana?
Well, we're trying to take multiple approaches with that. Part of the downtown revitalization, we want to take some of those vacant buildings and attempt to use grant funds to try to revitalize those to kind of help business owners, use them as like a business incubator type of theory, and give them a little bit of a jump start to get in there and kind of take the guesswork out of, well, I would love to have this downtown building. I've always loved driving by it, but I don't really know what work it's going to entail to completely restore it for my business. And alongside that too, we also want to try to create business incentive plans, kind of create that contact person for someone who is interested in starting up a business to just come in and be like, hey, listen, this is my idea. Do you think it's feasible for the community? And how do I go about doing so? We could literally just pull out a folder, show them, hey, listen, here's your options A, B, and C. Let's see what we can do to make this happen for you and for Pana.
Right, because right now it would be a daunting task to an extent to just say, I think starting any business would be daunting, but in Pana it'd be a little bit daunting just because there's so much history there and you feel like you maybe have to fill shoes, but that's not really the case. You just have to want that building or that area or that business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. One of the things I always say too, it gets kind of frustrating at points whenever you have to just drive 20 or 30 minutes to to another neighboring community to do something that we could very well do here in Pana too. So just trying to help facilitate that process, take the guesswork out and kind of hold your hand through the process and, show you that the city of Pana supports you and we're going to do what we can do to help you get this going because we're all ultimately going to benefit from it anyway. So.
Now, what makes Pana so great to you? I understand it's a great community as is. There's a lot of support. How have they been so supportive of some of the things that of your work and just overall the betterment of Pana itself?
I think that the best thing about Pana is just, Pana has, like a lot of small communities, gotten a bad reputation for some various things over time. But I've lived here my entire life, and I don't foresee any reason that's going to make me leave. The community support behind projects is amazing. One example, so Pana Pride recently took on the Christmas light display. It was previously out at the fairgrounds in town, and I think it probably got a pretty good turnout, but we always knew that it could have been better. Anybody that's been through the city of Pana knows that Kitchell Park is the staple point of our community. It's beautiful. We often take it for granted because we're so used to it. But we are in the process of creating a December to Remember event, and we are moving all of those displays from the fairgrounds to the Kitchell Park. And with that being said, we wanted to add to it a little bit because there wasn't as many features as we would like to have. So in 48 hours, a small group of people working with Pana Pride raised over $50,000 for all new interactive light displays to go around the park. It's going to be something like no other. We've not seen anything like this before.
I'm going to mark my calendar for Christmas light watching in Pana this winter.
Yes, for sure.
Now, what else has Pana Pride been working on?
Pana Pride is broken down into three committees. We have beautification, events, and industry. So we look at various things that we can tackle. One of those things too was actually one of my projects that I developed during my graduate school internship program with Pana Pride, and we're creating the Pana Skating Complex. We're really trying to use that as an attraction to have visitors come to our city, and then utilize other services while they're here. And then also to just make the overall well-being of the community members better too. We really want to try and give something back to this community and make it a better place to live. And we think that, roller skating would be a great way to go about that.
Roller skating, am I hearing skateboards too? Or
yes.
Like bicycles, everything kind of
yes, there's
sort?
3 phases to it. So the first one's a regulation size roller rink as well, and then the second phase will be the skate park area. So
nice.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And timeline for that right now?
Timeline for that, it all depends on how phase 1 goes. So phase 1 is the roller rink. We have to see how fundraising goes for that, see what grant options come available to try and match those donations made. I anticipate that to hopefully be done by the end of summer 2022. Yes.
Okay, so what, 9 months for now for the roller rink ish, give
Hopefully,
or take, right?
yes.
That's the goal. Obviously,
Yes.
sometimes goals.
And with the community that we have, I think we can do it.
Absolutely. Now, you're involved, it seems pretty heavily with Pana Pride.
Mhm.
Any other groups or organizations that help Pana that you're involved with?
So just various committees that we have, whether they be through Pana Pride or the city. But other than that, I also, like I said, I coach junior high girls basketball, which needless to say keeps me very busy, especially right now. But we're doing really well. Our record's really good. So that's been a big joy of mine too.
Former basketball player yourself, or well, I guess you never really stopped playing basketball, right?
No, I did for a while, but yes, I played basketball too. Yep.
Where'd you play?
In Pana.
In Pana, yeah. Did you guys have some good success in the?
We did. Luckily,
when you were of playing years.
We did. Unfortunately, I was one of those that dropped out my last 2 years of high school, and I think I'm living vicariously through that right now with coaching. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
They can fill your dream. All right, we're running out of time now.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before you go? It's been a pleasure having you here.
Yes, no, thank you for having me. Anybody that's listening from Pana, if you want a way to get involved, just get a hold of me up at City Hall and we can find your place in the community too.
Thank you so much for coming on, Kirby. It's been great to have you, and hopefully we can have you back on here shortly.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime. Thank you.
Yeah, you're listening to the WTIM Morning Show, stream live online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook and on the Big 870 across Central Illinois. WTIM, your information station.